Welcome to episode 20, and the microphone's in the wrong place. Hello, that's better. My name's Blades. Good start. I started without a microphone. Yeah, last episode of Code, MasterRenderer. Actually, it's not the last episode of Code at all. It is for this section. Although there may be an extra video errata. In fact, I'm sure there will be. I've got MasterRenderer, the header file here, so let's have a look at it. We do need to add the window, so let's add it here. So hash include, and it's ... display. And then I always call my windows window 3D. If they're not called window 3D, then I know that it's a test piece or something else is going on. And it's a header file I want. There we are. Thank you. Which means I can now put this in, which will now be a display. Yeah. Colon, window 3D, and it's going to be, and I just want the address. It's not a star. Stuff it will use. We'll keep it in line with everything else, doesn't matter. M underscore, let's call it something original, window. There we go, that's that done. So, can you clear my little squigglies, please? Lovely, lovely, lovely thing. Here we are. Let's go down to the MasterRenderer. I've left myself notes all over this, haven't I? Oh my god. It's quite funny to see it like this. Because remember, I have never written the MasterRenderer. It's still on my workbench under testing. Although I know it works, I've never written it. I've never put it into a header file and .cpp file is what I'm trying to say. When I say it's on my workbench, I have a development system where I have a full test set up, and then I have a dev namespace dev, and I have all of this stuff like splattered all over the place with notes here and there and everywhere, and it's a complete mess because it's under development, but it has been through its final stages, don't you worry. This is top quality class code. So what did we need here at the MasterRenderer? We just needed to add in display window and window. Like how with the camera, yes, that will work fine with a pointer, so yeah, we'll do that. I've still got my sniffles. I really apologise for the sniffles. I am having a bad time with it, but that's not your problem. Here we go, and I'll just put and a window, as I tend to do at these things. That's going to change our setup. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I do want to copy that, because that will change our setup on the next page. So that's that done. That's a header finished. Let's go over to the CPP. Gets a bit more complicated here because we have to add it in. So I'll just add it in there. That looks okay. And all we have to do is take out that. How handy. What's wrong with me and sign? There's nothing wrong with that and sign. Oh, I put star. Yes, there is something wrong with that and sign. Don't. Make sure I have done that right in the header file. No, I just copied it, didn't I, like an idiot? No, we only want addresses now, please. Pointers will do, but they're exactly the same. Pointers and addresses. They're slightly interchangeable in C++, but it's better if you don't. And here we go. Now we've got a window. What else needs a window? Oh yeah, can now clear the screen, can't we? Yeah, we can. And we can now get the projection. Oh yeah, we can. And we have to do that twice. Not a lot of typing going on here, is there? Do you have a thought that I knew what was going on at this stage? I haven't left myself with a lot of to-dos, put it that way. I will have to check that these are correct. And that we do have get projection and clear screen. We do, I hope. Get a projection. Please tell me I have a clear screen. Yes, we do. We have a clear screen. Yeah, that's fine. It's just I put a star in there when I shouldn't have done. It's fine. Expected a bracket. Correct, you did. It's 2 brackets. Yeah, okay. Running down here. Not really much else to do, is there? Good. That's updated. Nothing else I can think of needs a window. It was just that we're waiting on clearing the screen and getting that projection matrix through, because we need the projection matrix, and that has to come from the window because the projection matrix is the aspect ratio, or involves the aspect ratio, should I say. There we go, all done. OpenGL gives us that, which is nice. Just trying to think of anything else that we could do. I've got a few to-dos here on my notes, like prepare can be part of this class. Well, yeah, of course it could, because we do it twice. And we're getting that window projection twice. Yes, we could make prepare part of this class, but I don't want to, because when I tested it on the workbench, I couldn't get it to work to satisfactorily 100%. I was getting episodes of, oh, I don't want to work this way. Yeah, it's because C++ is more explicit in the way it works. So I'm going to be more explicit in the way I program it, and I'm going to do it as a double up. Both the same, so it doesn't really matter. Of course, these can change. I mean, these are just basics that I've put in. They can change. You can make your renderers or render operations different for each one, obviously. And if you want to add more render operations, you can do more. It's called being adaptable and expandable. I've kept it this way so that if you want to expand or adapt your render system, all you have to do is go to your MasterRenderer, adapt it to what you want, and then you can go into your draw, and of course your shader can be updated as well. It's a lot easier if you're going to alter things afterwards to do it this way, because everything then gets compartmentalized. This is the top of, obviously, as you can see, new, not me. But yeah, deletes and news. Just remember, deletes and news should be matched up unless it's OpenGL, which has C, and that has to be done differently. Okay, we're happy. We're done. Now I need to talk about something else, because we have not, at this stage, tried at any point to compile it in the last God knows how long. Let's get rid of the last 2 modifications, and that is let's do it properly. MasterRenderer updated. There we go, that's done. All cleared. 7 updates. Good. Done. Right, so we're all updated. and we've got all of this source, and I've got no idea if it works at this point, even on compilation. So to find out if we're going to be doing an errata, I'm going to run the build task. Are we going to be doing an errata? We should be doing one. Yes, there we go. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's exactly what I was hoping was going to happen. We've got warnings, we've got errors, and that's perfect. We've even got syntax errors here. I mean, that's fantastic, because that's me typing badly. So, let's see, inline variables are only available with std equals C++17 or std new plus C17. Inline variables. Maths H3141. Well, I didn't know that. There you go. I've learned something today. So if I go to line 31, did it say? Yeah, in Maths H. Let's just pop a look down. There we go. It's now got this. Inline variables. But I've made it static. Interesting. Declaration is incompatible with amber : map4 amber create view matrix declared in line 31. Okay, it's incompatible. Interesting. Okay, there's a correction. I'm using map4 to do the create view matrix. No, I'm not. This is the create view matrix. This has got nothing to do with map4. Map4 is open to us, it's amber map4. Create model view should just be amber : create model view. That's correct. And then it's entities, yeah, camera. I don't see the problem with that. It does, but I don't. If it's calling this one out, why isn't it calling that one out? That's the point. So it's telling me that's an error. So I'm going to ignore that warning, as it were. Inline variables are only there. It's a warning, yeah. Available with C++17, which is what we should be using anyway. We're not using C++17. Really? Who's telling me that? We are. C++17. C standard is 11. Maybe that should be 17 as well. Ooh, no. I think that's the problem there. I've got, is that 14 then? No, it's 11. Never mind. Okay, fine. Don't say. So I've got 17 as my standard. So you can eagerly pop off there. Static line map4 create view matrix entities. Oh, that's for the warning. Yeah, it's for the entity. So that's what it doesn't like. Yeah, right. Math H error entities has not been declared. Has it not? Because now it's telling me it's an error. All on this line 31. Camera was not declared in this scope. Well, no, if that's an error, it won't be declared in that scope. That's obvious. Have I spelt it wrong again? Let's put capital A at the end, beginning of that. You see, it's only complaining about the entities. It's not complaining about the other one because they're all available. But thinking what's happening here is that entities hasn't been set up at this point. And because it hasn't been set up when it's trying to compile it, where did we include our first maths H? Does it tell us? We can't include maths H until the entities has been set up. That has to come after entities, camera. So it's got nothing to do with that. That's going to take me a hunt through. Let's do an errata. That's going to take me a hunt through. Anyway, what I wanted to speak to you about is what comes after this except for the errata. Don't save. I want to keep that pure. So I know why that error is coming up now. That's fine. So once we've got rid of that maths H problem, it's basically I'm calling maths H before I have set up the entity, the camera entity. So wherever I've made the camera entity, I can then put maths.h afterwards. Yeah. It's just the ordering of my header files is wrong in some place or other. That's the only problem. Never mind. I'll get used to it one day. I'll even program it properly one day. So, what was I going to talk about? Yeah, after this we're going to be doing the test. Now, on the test, I want to show you this before we get there. What we have under test is main, and that's all we have. I can get rid of that now because I know what's going on. Lovely. And this is our program, our test program. We've got our test area all set up. I was thinking the other day about this arg value. Yeah, that's fine because we're just printing them out to screen. I usually put an if statement in if it's less than something or whatever, then make it 0, just to use the values. But I found out since then the values are used by glue or GLFW, and they are checked by one of those systems, although they're not actually technically used, just to pin up the system for those callbacks. If you can remember going back to those callbacks, so it's GLFW back in Windows 3D. So those are required, and if you print them out, as we are doing anyway, you'll see what they are and why they're needed by those callbacks, because we have to be able to match the callbacks to the correct program. So that links the operating system to this program. That's good. See out. Press key to close. That's just a standard, just to stop the window closing automatically. That's fine. I'm happy with that. We're using IOStream just so that we can use cout. That's all on the standard end line. So there's nothing going on here that is silly. That's fine. I'm happy. I am absolutely happy. The only thing that I will be adding to this is probably using namespace amber. Not sure I want to do that because that opens that maths up to us, doesn't it? But I want the maths opened up to us. Yes, I probably will. Not a problem. That's the last bit of waffle I've got there. After the test is complete, we are going to program our first game. That will do a load test upon, it's not going to be a massive game or anything, so it's only going to do a minimal load test on this library that we've created. So I will be changing the systems for that. I've decided I'm going to do that on Windows, so you can see how we can do all of that. You do have to do your testing on the same operating system that you create your library. If you don't, you're just asking for trouble, because you're not prepared for doing changes, because then you're on a different operating system. You then got to learn how that operating system works, and you need to know how to respond to error message. So all that said, and it was a long speech, and I do apologise, I think we can now get on with the errata, and we can fix that problem. It's a minor problem, So our code is looking good. Our code is looking very good. So I'll go and fix it. Okay, you lot take care, and I'll see you in the errata for a little bit of fun.